Hey. Alright, I'm Alex. I'm also another MFA candidate from University of Central Florida. So, Super Mario Brothers, who's a fan? Anybody a fan out there? Okay. So,
Are we in our 20s?
Yeah, I'm going to read an excerpt from a story that imagines what it'd be like if Mario was actually based on a 21-year-old track star who graduated from college in 1979 and went to Japan to spend the summer with his Japanese girlfriend Yuki. So this guy Marlo, he's an Italian-American. He's training for the 1980 Olympic Games, and he somehow runs into a guy named Dr. Yamatoto, who just so happens to be the vice president of Nintendo. But Marlo doesn't know that yet. So I'm going to start reading at the point in the story after Marlo has had a fight with Yuki in a karaoke room. Yuki's mom doesn't want Marlo around. She wants him to go home, back to America, leave her damn daughter alone. So Marlo's vengeance comes when he just so happens to find Dr. Yamatoto in the karaoke room with a couple of other businessmen. So Marlo thinks, fuck it, if Yuki and her mom don't want me, I'm going to get wasted with these Japanese business guys and sing some Beatles songs. So that's where the story begins. I'm jumping. I'm drunk. I'm drunk, and I'm jumping, and I'm jumping, and I'm drunk, and I'm singing Obla-dee, Obla-da with Dr. Yamatoto. And he's jumping, and he's drunk, and I'm singing loud, and I'm jumping high, and the rainbow lights look delicious in my vision. Stop, Marlo, Yuki is saying. Dr. Yamatoto's friends keep touching her, and she keeps pushing them away. You know what? I'm glad they're touching her. That's what she wants, isn't it? Watch me jump, Yuki. Watch me jump. I jump. Super jump, says Dr. Yamatoto. Let's go home, says Yuki. I stop jumping. I feel the sake slosh through my brain. Peach, I screamed at her. That was my nickname for her because when my bushy mustache scratched against her chin, it scratched it pink like a peach. Stop being a princess. The Japanese men laugh. Princess Peach, Dr. Yamatoto says. Beautiful name. I jump. Higher. If I could, I would jump over Yuki's mom's head and squash it like a mushroom. I would jump over Craig Virgin and finish in front of him in the trials for the 10,000 meters at the U.S. Olympics. The sake makes me jump sideways, but I don't give a shit. I jump high again, but this time I jump so high I crater the ceiling. White shrapnel rains down on me. Seconds later, the song ends. The screen turns to static. Are you in good health, friend? Dr. Yamatoto asks. Yuki looks on from behind. I touch my sweaty, curly mop of hair. No blood, I say. No blood? Dr. Yamatoto says. No blood. They cheer. Now they are jumping. Behind them I see the door open. Yuki is leaving. Like superhero, says Dr. Yamatoto, slapping my back hard. Marlo, I say, patting my chest, confused and a little woozy. I don't know if I'm going to throw up or not. I'm Marlo. You are Super Marlo, he says. I don't remember what happens next. I probably complained to Dr. Yamatoto about the idea of working at my uncle's plumbing company, and I don't want to work side by side with my cousin Louie, who's a nice enough guy but wastes most of his time playing Atari. Dr. Yamatoto and I may have hugged, maybe we shook hands, maybe we bowed, but Yuki wasn't there. Next thing I know, I'm vomiting in her mother's cherry blossom bushes, then pissing on them, and then walking back in the house where I say I'm home, really loudly. A light flicks on behind a paper door and I sober up like that. Yuki's mom, face like fire. Where is she? She asks. Who? I say, just probably a stupid question. Where is Yuki? Yuki's mother is not shy anymore. I know this because she's poking me in the chest. I'm walking backwards onto the porch. Go, get out of here, she says. She slams the door shut. I have to piss again, so I piss on her cherry blossoms again. I wake up with Yuki's toes in my eyes, and sunlight, and pollen from flowers. I sneeze, and lying crooked on the front lawn of Yuki's house. Might be 10 a.m. or 2 p.m., I don't know. Yuki says a lot of things in Japanese, and I don't understand a single word. She refuses to speak English. Her face is unrecognizable. I should have learned more Japanese. I get a hotel room near the airport that night and fly home the next morning. After I tell my mom what happened, she whips me up a baked ziti and takes me to the hospital to take a look at the bump on my head from the jump. That bump. They say it's a mild concussion. They say I'll be okay, but that I shouldn't bang my head against ceilings in the future. The future. Yuki may not want to talk to me now, but she'll want to see me after seeing me in the Olympics. I got my eyes on the prize. Alright, so it's June 15th, 1983 now, and I'm at this bar off the Jersey Turnpike called Bender's with my cousin Louie. He's 4 years younger than I am, but he plays better pool than I do. I'm just horrible. I clink the sides of the balls, I always forget the rules, and I call the game billiards in an Australian accent that doesn't really sound Australian. It's been almost 4 years since the Soviets invaded Afghanistan and Jimmy Carter threatened a boycott of the Olympics. I didn't believe he'd go through with it. I thought he was just posturing, but when it happened officially, I said, fuck it, it wasn't meant to be. Craig Virgin started training for the '84 games, but I lost my mojo when I worked at the plumbing company for my uncle. Fuck, what the hell am I doing with my life? At Bender's, I eat too many hot wings and onion rings. I gained weight. I tried exercising to the Olivia Newton-John VHS, but her body reminded me so much of Yuki's that I pressed eject. I'm a regular at Bender's. I know I am because every waitress knows my name. It's embarrassing, but I don't want to admit it's embarrassing. Can I borrow a quarter? Louie asked. What do you need a quarter for? You didn't see the new game they installed over there? I don't do that arcade shit, cuz. Come on, Louie says, check it out. I follow him into the corner of the bar, and there it is, the arcade game in a large rectangular oak case under a neon Budweiser sign. Mario Brothers reads the banner over the system, and on both sides of the banner are images of rounded faces with big noses and bushy mustaches. Green plumbing tubes decorate the edges of the black screen. I hand him the quarter and watch him switch the joystick. Scurrying across the screen is a man in overalls, jumping over turtles and bumping his head against plumbing tubes. He seems unfazed by bumping his head. In fact, he runs even faster afterwards. They're Italian plumbers, Louie says blankly. Sounds ridiculous, but it's really fun. Want to play, Marlo? No, I say. I don't want to play. And then now I'm going to skip ahead towards the end here. So what happens in between is that Marlo is like, shit, I think this Dr. Yamatoto guy took my identity, made me into Super Mario, and now it's everywhere. Johnny Carson's talking about it on The Tonight Show, now they're playing Mario on NES, now it's all over the place, and I'm a fucking plumber at Bender's, drinking beers and eating hot wings. Life is not good. So anyways, he gets drunk, he somehow connects his phone overseas to talk to Dr. Yamatoto, and they have a big, Marlo's big suggestion is, hey, we should go on Johnny Carson together and straighten this whole thing out. He thinks it's a great idea because he's been drinking a bit. And Dr. Yamatoto says, there's thousands of Marios, you're not the only one. So I'm going to resume towards the very end of this story here. I wish I could tell you that my life was like a Hollywood montage after my talk with Dr. Yamatoto. I wish I could tell you that I immediately stopped drinking, started losing weight, and found Yuki at the UN building and kissed her and made her my peach again. But things don't work out like that in real life. On Christmas Eve 1986, I ran my car into a telephone pole. I wish it was a sexier story. I wish it was more unique. I wish it was something super heroic. But it was a fucking pole and I was fucking drunk. That's when I finally got helped and stopped going to Bender's. When my uncle got sick, he gave me another shot at administration at the plumbing company, and this time I understood the phones. I worked hard. I kept writing to Yuki. She wrote me back 2 or 3 times, telling me she married a Korean man who worked for Samsung. Her letters were short and polite. They sound like they were written to a pen pal your teacher sets you up with at school. She didn't want to talk about the video games. She didn't seem to care. She realized her dream as a UN ambassador for Japan. Her idol Dolly Parton could stand looking up to Yuki as a strong woman. It's not that I still loved her after all those years. The truth was, I was so damn young. I don't know if I ever did love her. I missed her, sure, but I missed more being 22 years old. I missed the time in my life when my biggest mistake was my 2.7 GPA. I missed running like King Kong across the riverfront in Fukuoka, Japan, feeling like I was destined to become an Olympian on a Wheaties box. I missed my mom's ziti. Rest in peace, Ma. My AA sponsor. Alright. Said it was normal to get nostalgic after you quit the drink. He told me I had to keep moving forward. Don't sit down, he'd say. Jump. Honey, did he really say jump? She asked. It's June 15th, 2010, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table with my wife Marla, my 12-year-old son David. Marla's drinking a guava pineapple smoothie. It's her fast fest, the word she likes to use instead of breakfast. She's getting ready for a Zumba class, this Colombian dance exercise thing she teaches to a room full of 50-year-old women. Marla's still a lean, coiled-legged health nut, just like she was when I met her at my cousin Louie's wedding 20 years ago. She was the one who encouraged me to start running again and to stop bothering Yuki. I tend to say that she saved my life, but she says that's a little overboard. She's right. She didn't save the life I already had, she just gave me a new one. He did say jump and tell my wife and my son. That's why I end the story there. Important question, David says. He's at that age where sarcasm is a badge of cool, but when he gets interested, he can't pretend to be anything less than genuine. Can I tell my friends at school that my dad's Super Mario? I laugh and rub my hand through my son's floppy brown hair. If you want, I said, but I don't think they'll believe you. All right, thanks, I'll stop there.